Super disappointed. I thought Illinois played great. They came out, hit every shot. I felt like in that first quarter. Maybe we, changed, made a few tweaks. Obviously, they weren't as they cooled off second quarter, third quarter, and we just dug ourselves a hole. We couldn't get anything going. They were super physical with us. Disappointed in the fact that I felt like we should have probably at some point gotten into the bonus, got to the free throw line, just because of how physical. Obviously, our officials didn't see it that way, but nonetheless, give Illinois all the credit. They had to hit the shots. They were physical with us. We didn't respond in the right way. They had 14 points off of our turnovers, and that's the game, right? So we lost by 14 points off our turnovers. We cut it within 4, missed a layup, gave up a 3. Just disappointed for our kids. Yesterday, again, it was not a good practice for us. And as I always tell them, you play how you practice. And I thought our practice was not very good yesterday. With some individuals, not all of them, but some of them, and that always ends up biting you in the rear end, because I do believe that it's true. How you practice is how you play, and so disappointed after coming off such a great win in Iowa. I thought tonight would be one of those nights we were anxious to get back home and play in front of our fans, and it's just disappointing that we couldn't perform better.
Yeah, Teri, Yarden only played, I think, 4 minutes, and Lily only 3 minutes in the second half. Was that matchups? Was that, any injuries, or just more,
No, they're not injured. They're fully healthy. Yarden had a hard time guarding, and we had to get stops. And so they... she had a hard time guarding, and obviously 24 went right at her, so we had to, get a more athletic lineup on the floor just to try to, do a better job defensively. Lily has to be better. She has to be better offensively. She has to be better defensively. And here as of late, she's just been okay, and we don't need an okay Lily. We need a really good Lily to help us, because we have to have great balance, and just not a good matchup with Bostic.
Yeah, Sydney mentioned in here we can't just show up for the big games. We have to show up for all the games. Do you think there was kind of a hangover after the high of the Iowa game?
No, I don't believe in that. I don't. We know how good the Big Ten is. This is a really good Illinois team, a team a year ago that probably kept us from winning a second Big Ten championship. And so they know how, we have tremendous amount of respect for all the teams, but certainly Illinois. Sean and her staff do a great job. That group plays together. They play hard. And so, no hangover. That's just an excuse. And I'm not going to give us that as an excuse, as an easy out. Hangovers, I don't believe in that.
Teri, you've talked plenty about Illinois and, praising them. Just obviously they've given you problems the last few years. Just beyond them just being good, particularly, what about them has been giving you issues, and what do you need to adjust to kind of get back at them?
Well, we have to be able to guard better. I think we'll look back. We probably, from a staffing standpoint, I just don't want to put it all on our players. I think from a staffing, our standpoint, we probably needed to make earlier adjustments, all right, with their Zoom action that they continue to run. We tried a couple possessions of zone, and they knocked down shots, and so we were a little bit leery of trying to change the rhythm by just throwing some zone at them. And so we got to continue to get better at all of it. And I think the other piece of that is when teams are as physical as Illinois was tonight, and there's nothing being called, we have to be able to work through that. And And I didn't think we were able to do that tonight.
Teri, when you say that yesterday wasn't a good practice for you guys, I guess just what things were you seeing and picking up on that made you feel that way leading into today?
Well, low energy from some of them. I'm not gonna say particular ones, but the ones that we count on a lot. Low energy, not being focused, turning the ball over too much. And you just can't, not before a game of this magnitude. You know, this is a big weekend for us, you know, with two really good teams coming in here. And you want to be sharp and you want to be focused and you want to be excited. And, you know, I thought today we seemed much better in terms of the energy and the excitement level, you know, to play a really good Illinois team. But, you know, yesterday was not a good day for some of our players in terms of how they approach practice. And that's disappointing. And it can't happen.
Teri, you mentioned the physical play of Illinois. Do you have any overriding concerns about playing against physical teams?
Yeah, unless we, you know, it is concerning because it's stuff that we talk about a lot, and you know, it's a double-edged sword because we play, you know, we have a great practice squad of males that we want them to be a little bit more physical with us. But where do you draw the line of how physical, right? Because the last thing we can afford to do is have somebody get injured or hurt in practice by them picking the pace up or the intensity up a little bit. And so, you know, that to me it's probably something that they got to look at from an individual perspective and realize that teams are going to be physical with us, and you know, we have to be able to be as physical back, right? And not allow them to not allow us to get to our spots and where we want to be. And I thought, like I said, Illinois came out from the beginning and established how physical the game was going to be. And there were a lot of moments, I'm not going to lie, that I didn't feel protected in that. I didn't think I didn't feel like we weren't protected. And that's disappointing.
Teri.
That's not why we lost the game, though.
Teri, you've said repeatedly all year how difficult the Big Ten is, and I assume you've said it at least as often to your own team.
Right.
Is this the kind of game that they will get a stinging reminder that it is? No matter what,
yeah.
no matter who it is.
No. As I mentioned, this league is just too good to feel like you can take a night off ever, and no matter who it is, and no matter what number, you know, if you have by your name or the number you don't. I mean, this is I think the best league in the country, and even without two of her, you know, players, you know, Cook, you know. Dolan, is that her name? The guard, right? You know, Shauna is doing a terrific job of, you know, that's six guys that, you know, play a lot of minutes. I mean, Bostic never comes out, Genesis Bryant never comes out, you know, but you know, Mackenzie never comes out, right? But they're three really, really good players, and it's impressive how they can withstand because they play so hard. It's not like they don't take plays off offensively. Their pace never lightens up, and then they're going to guard you really hard. So, really impressed by, as far as strength, conditioning, cardio, all that, how they have a terrific stamina in terms of being able to play both sides of the ball at the pace, the level, the intensity of which they do it.
Yeah, with the bad practice, was that an outlier for this team this year? And then, you know, last year when you've had those struggles or had tough moments, you leaned on player leadership.
Right.
Have you been more vocal, or have you sort of taken the reins kind of when you've maybe seen some
A little bit of both, Mike. I think, you know, Sid and Chloe, especially Sid, I think, you know, she's such a high energy kind of player, and you know, is always ready for practice, and Shay's very much the same way. You know, I think that they can recognize when some of their teammates are, you know, not interested maybe in being at practice. For it to be an outlier, no. I mean, this is, I'm not saying it's consistent, but I'm not saying that we haven't seen this by some of our players that, you know, come in and, like I said, low energy, you know, and that bothers me. But it's just, we just got to continue to try to demand it out of them and make them somehow realize that it's really important. You know, 2 days out, a day out before a really big game, you should feel good about the 2 hours that you're leaving that, you know, the gym going. Our prep was good, our energy was good. I think we're on point with what we want to do from a scouting perspective. When we're on offense and we're playing against our practice guys, we look sharp offensively, not turning the ball over, not careless, not, you know. And so there were a lot of things that happened yesterday, you know, during that, you know, was disappointing. And it carried over until tonight.